Hello and welcome to VendOp News, where I cover the weekly happenings in the supply chain and procurement market. My name is Jay Bartels, and let's just dive right in. Our first article today jumps right into an issue on everybody's mind, the COVID-19 vaccine. Pfizer recently slashed the number of doses expected to roll out in half. This dramatic drop comes as a result of early trouble with supply chains. Pfizer originally projected 100 million doses would be distributed by the end of this year. That number has now been reduced to 50 million, according to the Wall Street Journal. A spokesperson for Pfizer says that scaling up the raw materials took longer than they had expected. But despite this setback, Pfizer says they're still on target to roll out more than 1 billion doses nationwide in 2021. The U.S. has grand plans to distribute 6.4 million of those doses before this year is over. There were also plans to obtain an additional 40 million from Pfizer and Moderna, but those targets have to alter with the new setback. Pfizer isn't providing a lot of clear answers or details about the obstacles they are encountering. One source speculates the reduced rollout is the result of one ingredient failing to meet standards early in the manufacturing process. The quality standard issue has been addressed, but maybe not in enough time to meet all of this year's shipments. Another insider source noted that manufacturing began before regulators had approved the vaccine. Everything was happening simultaneously, according to the source. Supply chain development began in March as the vaccine development was just beginning. Whatever challenges they are facing, Pfizer assures the public that it will ensure an equitable allocation of vaccines as we move forward. Our second article today talks about the changing perceptions of procurement professionals in business. Procurement used to be viewed as an area focused on cost savings, compliance, and mandates. But now more procurement professionals are making it about business enablement. They are bringing market intelligence to the table and helping companies make better decisions. Procurement teams are also helping to speed up business processes and to minimize risks. With the onset of COVID-19, more procurement professionals were invited to seats at the corporate table. There, they became key players in the strategic decision-making processes that addressed the impacts of the pandemic. Not only were they able to help cut costs, they were also able to help deal with the sudden challenges faced by these supply chains. But procurement professionals may have to fight to keep their new seats at the table. They need to look at historical spending patterns and negotiate the best deals as always, but they also need to start looking forward to developing new strategic plans for the future. This involves proactively researching future markets and investigating what each market will look like from a supply chain perspective. They need to watch for raw material shortages, import regulations, and a host of other factors that affect operating margins. Suppliers are also a huge source of market information that procurement teams need to tap into. Many suppliers will share info with companies they want to continue to do business with. The procurement team needs to act as a filter for that information and evaluate what needs to be on the executive radar. With procurement's improved strategic position, it is also advisable to push for more funding to be used to increase training and technology related to those supply chains. Doing so will help to ensure procurement's place at decision-making tables in the future. Our final article today takes a hard look at the tendency for procurement to be judged on price rather than on value. Many antiquated measures are still in place that focus on short-term prices. This means that the total cost of ownership, or TCO, is rarely addressed at all. Total cost of ownership refers to the life cycle-based assessment and forecast of all costs, direct and indirect, involved with a purchase. We can look at purchasing a new car as a great example. There's the price you pay for the car, which may be amazing and low, but that price tag did not include things like sales tax, licensing fees, or actual operating expenses like insurance, repairs, preventative maintenance, or that dreaded depreciation. So did that sticker price for the new car after long-term value, or were you just fooled? The perception remains that low prices equal low cost, but we know as procurement professionals that this isn't always the case. And this perception's hampering the ability of procurement teams as well as the entire company in the long run. These are some of the reasons that companies need to embrace a TCO model and move towards strategic value-based procurement. Procurement teams are tasked with legally, ethically, and wisely spending the company's money. But they are not obligated to buy the item or service at the cheapest price tag. The TCO model takes into account strong supplier relationships, high quality and on-time delivery, flexible innovation, and value-based services. The rating of supplier in these categories should be used to justify sourcing and spending choices. Many suppliers will address life cycle costs in their proposals. Having suppliers who know the long-term value of their offering will help educate everyone in the TCO process. And while not every purchase needs to have a TCO model developed, many would benefit from pivoting away from short-term pricing and move toward value-based procurement. Thank you for watching VendOp News. Again, my name is Jay Bartels. I'm the CEO of VendOp. At VendOp, we manage the performance of vendors and suppliers and save companies millions of dollars per year. If you would like to join a panel discussion with other industry leaders, reach out to me via LinkedIn or email me at vendop.com. Thanks for taking the time this week.